Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning. Hey, we are on day 14. That means 2 weeks into our 21 days of creating a habit. And in order to create the habit, you have to have been doing the things. And so I just so appreciate the comments and the things coming in for the people who are truly working. And if success leaves clues, which I know that it does, the folks that have embarked in making a decision and then following up on the decision and then following through every single day are the people that we're going to see tremendous growth in and ultimately higher incomes coming a couple months from now, because it's this cyclical pattern that allows you, when you do the work and you do the right work, that's one of the things that happens, is making sure that we do consistently the right work over time that makes a difference in what it is that you do. So many, I talked about this earlier in the week, so many of those shiny, dangling carrot type things that we can get into, and we don't give it enough time to be consistent at it in order to make that work. Because reality is, all work works. It's just, what are you working on that actually ends up working for you? And so today, day 14, we've been 2 weeks into this, and a lot of reflection needs to take place. Well, the art of reflecting isn't just thinking about it, sitting in your bed and going, I wonder if this worked or didn't. There's some actual process in reflection that can help move the needle towards moving forward. And so I want you to ask yourself a few questions and write them down. And there's something about writing it down, even if it's in your brain or you recorded something like that, writing it down, going from your mind to your hand to a piece of paper, transfer the thought and make sure that you're concentrating on that particular thought. And there's neurology that goes into why that works and why that happens, and using the part of your brain that is active. And so these are things I want you to write down during reflection. What went well over the last 2 weeks? And so whatever it is that you're doing, say that you decided that you were going to do a podcast and you actually created a podcast. Now the podcast itself is going to probably not be very good because you haven't done one before, right? But the process that you used to get there, how did that go? Did that go well? Did that not go? So what did not go well? Hey, I tried to sit down and I tried to put out my time block, and I realized that I got a whole bunch of time that I'm wasting time on, and I'm not sure how to clear that up. And if that didn't go well in your reflection, write a little note right next to it, is, who am I going to communicate with, or what am I going to do this next week so that problem doesn't arise again? Maybe it's taking kids to school or bringing kids home from school at the same time you're trying to make real estate calls. And those two things can't go together because your kids are in the back of the car talking and doing whatever it is. And so you have to jumble that around a little bit because it just didn't go well. What did you enjoy? Part of this process is liking what you do and enjoying the part that you actually end up doing so that you'll do it over and over again. So what part of it was enjoyable, and how can you do more of that? On the other side of that, what did I hate doing? So that you never have to do it again. Now, if you say, I hate talking to clients or customers, well, then you're going to have to get a different business, because this business is about talking to your clients and your customers. But the way that you do and how you embark with them and how you engage with them, whether it's, hey, I don't like talking to them through email because I don't feel like I have that connection. Well, then there you go. You know that you got to make those calls. I'm not saying you can't say I don't like making calls, because you're going to have to make calls and get better at it and then start figuring out enjoying. But what didn't you like that you could take away? I don't like the way this time block calendar works because it doesn't work with the way that my mind works. It's too detailed for me. How can I make it less detailed so that I'm not going crazy trying to be an OCD person when I'm a totally non-detailed individual and trying to fit a square peg into a round hole? And finally, what did you learn? What is it you learned that you can take on, and then maybe, and you learned it because you can teach it to somebody else? And so if you learned it and truly learned it and like doing it and you understand it, know that you can teach it to somebody else. So what did you learn? Now how can you move that forward? So the next step for tomorrow will be we got this down, we reflected, we got some new things that we put in place that we know we're going to do, and then we're ready to hit it for our last week in this 21 days together. All right, so I'm proud of you, and we will talk with you tomorrow.